Margaret, thank you for your submission. I really appreciate all the work you put into this, and there are a lot of documents accompanying this, so they were all very helpful for me to get a good overview and context of what you're trying to accomplish in this course, and I think it's really good. I like the approach you're taking to this competency-based, project-based learning in your class. Here are some observations that I made. I think your course objectives are accessible, they're measurable, and I think you've done a good job in the approach that you're taking. I think the blog post is a really good idea. It allows you to see how they synthesize this information and whether they can professionally articulate this, and it's very good kind of for your end of course e-portfolio, if you will. And I'm wondering even if in your assessment you could point out like perhaps a recommendation on a particular strength of a blog post, say, well, this would be a good one to consider putting in as an artifact. But I thought that blog posts as a writing sample, if you will, and then the weekly assignments where they demonstrate their ability to write at the patient health literacy level are two good ways to do this. And they're both low stakes, so I don't think it would give them a lot of test anxiety. Now, the final project is a lot of points, and I'm wondering if, since they get feedback from peers and instructor, there could be some built-in angst with that with the students, since they only have optional interaction throughout the course. And I'm wondering if there would perhaps at the midway point be a way of doing an interim project-based peer feedback, a low-stakes activity, maybe, so it doesn't seem so summative or like high stakes at the end, where everything is low stakes, and they haven't really had any peer feedback to this point, and then at the end it's worth so much points that I'm wondering if that will create some undue anxiety. I don't know, but that's just something to consider, having an interim peer feedback. But I think your rationale here for using the blog post and the assignments is very good, and I think the goal to kind of give them the competency-based e-portfolio to demonstrate is spot on. As far as your challenges, yeah, I think you've correctly identified it. The blog post being optional, which you have pointed out they probably won't do a lot of interaction with, which does, in a sense, set it up for that final project to be a little more anxiety-producing potentially. So that's a consideration. And but I think you giving feedback throughout is going to be helpful, because if they don't have any assessment and feedback from you, like in times past, that would be problematic. So maybe we want to avoid doing that with their peer feedback as well. And but I think overall, looking through all your documents, I thought your rubrics were good. I think the second and third rubric were very similar, if not the same rubric, which is fine for the. Which is actually, I think, ideal, because it's not a new assessment for their project and in their final project. But I thought the blog post rubric was a very good discussion type post rubric, and it was very easy to see how your competencies all aligned. So thank you. I think this is a very effective project, and I'm always intrigued by competency-based, because they can be very challenging to pull off, but I think you've done a really, really good job of designing this.